This is good. Let's check the Secretary of Homeland Security under Trump. He said, quote, Trump is, quote, an utter disgrace. His defense secretary called him, quote, a threat to democracy. And the nation's former highest-ranking military advisor called him, quote, a fascist to the core. Does that sound like someone that we should hire? No, that is not what this country needs. We know that. We need a president who will put our country first, above herself, every single day. We will need a president who will fight for America every single day. And ladies and gentlemen, that person is very clear. That's Kamala Harris. We also need a president who will stand with union workers. We need a president who understands without a strong union, you cannot have a middle class, you cannot have a strong country. We need Kamala Harris. We also need a president who will protect reproductive freedom and make sure that every woman can make decisions about her body. We need Kamala Harris. So there is no question that we must do everything in our power to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and send them to the White House. But let me just say one thing. She also needs a team. She needs a team. She's an amazing woman, and I know it firsthand, but she needs a team. And what she needs is she has to have a majority in the United States Senate backing her up each and every day. We can hold that majority. We are working every day to do it, but we have to make sure that Alyssa Slotkin is voted in as the next senator from the great state of Michigan. Okay, let's talk then. What do we need to do? We need every one of you to make a plan. You need to return your absentee ballot or vote early, which you can do now at polling places right now all across the city of Detroit. We need every single one of you to make your voice heard this election. Second, that's first. Second, we need you to spread the word. Make sure your friends and neighbors understand what's at stake in this election. And if they're not registered, hey, no problem. Detroit residents can register at all 14 early voting sites in Detroit. And guess what? When you register, you can vote the same day. Your voice can be heard. You know, here in Michigan, we've seen a few close elections. I've had one or two myself. We know it's going to take a lot of hard work to carry this thing across the finish line. But seeing all of you here today, all of you here enthusiastic, fired up, I know that the city of Detroit is going to get this done. We are not going back. We're going to get up every day and we are going to fight for the future of this country. And as the whole country watches on election night, we are going to be so proud because of all the work we did. And the whole country sees that Michigan is a blue state. Kamala Harris is president. Thank you.
Please welcome Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. No taking and no giving, they just use all
know, it is so wonderful to see all of you, and I have to tell you, it does my heart good. It's always helpful to have friends. So thank you. All right, it's go time, Detroit. It has been my honor to represent you in the United States Senate. I'm so excited about this election, aren't you? Are you ready to send Alyssa Slotkin to United States Senate? Are you ready to elect Democrats up and down the ballot? And are you ready to elect Vice President Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States? I don't know about you, but Michigan, from my perspective, needs to be the one to send Donald Trump packing for good. It is always great to have President Barack Obama with us in Detroit, isn't it? And medic, I'm sorry, we need a medic. Would somebody raise hands? Could we please get a medic for someone? Thanks, everybody. Do we have someone coming? Over here. It's good. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. You know what? I love being in a crowd that cares about each other, right? I mean, we believe in joy and respect and caring for one another, and they don't believe that on the other side, right? Right. So thank you. Thank you for that. But let me just say, wouldn't it be great if every city in America had the talent and the grit and the amazing comeback story that's been achieved in Detroit? I'm so proud of Detroit. I'm so proud of Detroit. You know, I remember when it started, the t-shirt started with Detroit versus everybody, and you know what? Detroit won. And of course, Donald Trump doesn't have a clue about what he's saying. He is so mentally unstable. I'm not sure he even knew he was in Detroit when he said it. And if he did know, he didn't care. And don't forget, by the way, the comeback story of our auto industry. Donald Trump said, let him go bankrupt, but Democrats doubled down on American manufacturing. And with President Obama's leadership, we moved our country forward. Thank you, President Obama. And now Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are fully prepared and ready to take the next step to lead us forward. I'm so excited about what they're going to do. You know, Donald Trump says we should fear the enemy from within. Not Putin's Russia, not China, not Iran, not North Korea. And he's made it clear that he would activate the military, the American military, to go after people he believes are the enemy from within. And so what does he mean about that? I assume he means anybody that disagrees with him, you and you and you and you and every single one of us who reject Project 2025. But let's be clear. We know who the real enemy from within is, and it's Donald Trump. We know right now you're here. You're here because you know everything's on the line right now. This is a big deal. And we are not going back to the chaos and the corruption of Donald Trump. We aren't going back. We aren't going back. We are not going back. That's right. Vice President Harris and Governor Tim Walz are going to turn the page, thank goodness. And they're going to move us forward joyfully, respecting everyone, protecting our freedoms, creating opportunity for everybody to be able to work hard and get ahead. Kamala and Tim get up every day thinking about us. You know, I will never forget when I first met Kamala as Senator Harris. And we were sitting in a meeting. I'm part of the Senate leadership, and we were talking to new members about what they thought our priorities should be. And Kamala said, I want to focus on the things that keep families up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, whether my kid's going to have food, or I'm going to be able to take him to the doctor, or are we going to have a good job, and are we going to have a safe neighborhood? That's Kamala Harris. She cares about our children, our grandchildren, and the children we don't even know. That's what we care about as Democrats. And Donald Trump gets up every day and only cares about himself. So this is the moment, everybody. This is it. This is the moment. How many people have already voted? All right. How about your mom or your dad or your kids or your neighbor or your friends? We got more work to do, right? And we're going to do it. We're going to do it. This is an all hands on deck moment for all of us. And I just want to say, because we're from the car state, you know, we put America and the world on wheels. And I'm so proud of Michigan. I'm so proud of Michigan for doing that. But here's what we know. When you want to go forward, you put the car in D. And when you want to go backwards, you put it in R. We're not going back. 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 We're not going back.
Please welcome the Detroit City Council President, Mary Sheffield.
Turn down the lights. I got a feeling I'm gonna be alright. Okay, alright. It's about damn time. Turn up the music. Let's celebrate. I got a feeling I'm gonna be okay.
Detroit! There we go. Are we all fired up? Are we ready to win this race? So in Detroit, we don't just dream. We make things happen. So are we ready to elect Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States of America? So listen, Detroit, we have just 2 short weeks before this election. And if we are going to bring this thing home and make sure that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz gets into the White House, we have to put in some hard work. But that's nothing new to Detroiters. What I know about Detroit is one thing, and that is that we will work hard. I am born and raised in this great city of Detroit, now serving in leadership. And what I know about our city is that we are full of tough people, resilient people. We don't back down from a challenge, and we are built for moments like this. When people counted us out, we rolled up our sleeves, we got to work, and we rebuilt this city. And now, 14 days away, with that same spirit and resiliency, we can and we will win this race and get... I don't know about you all, but I'm not going back. Detroit is not going back. Michigan is not going back. Our country is not going back. Let's say it again. We're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. But hold on, you all. Guess who else is not going back? Donald Trump is not going back to the White House. If we show up and do our part and vote like we've never done before, Donald Trump is not going back. The former divider-in-chief, is what I like to call him, had the audacity to come to our great city and disparage our city. He claimed that if Kamala Harris became the president, that the whole country would be a mess like Detroit. Well, I got news for Mr. Trump. If the rest of the country had the heart of Detroit, its grit, its resilience, its spirit, we'd all would be better off. So no, Mr. Trump, Detroit is not a mess. Detroit is a model of how to rise, how to build, and how to thrive. We are a city that knows how to fight through hard times, how to overcome our struggles and come out better and stronger. And while here in Detroit, in the home of labor, he had the audacity to say that auto workers have it easy. He said that even a child can do the work of our auto workers. That's right. This just shows how out of touch Donald Trump is with everyday working class people in this city. Detroit auto workers have been the backbone of our economy. And we in Detroit, we stand with the brothers and sisters of labor who have built this country, who have sustained this country. So Detroit, we will not let Mr. Trump come here and disrespect our city, disrespect our workers. So we will show up and show him how we feel about him at the polls when we cast our votes in this upcoming election. Vote, 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 vote. So listen, Detroit, Donald Trump is dangerous. He's dangerous. He's unstable. He's unhinged. But what gives me hope is that he only gets the opportunity at a second chance of destroying our democracy if we allow him to. Are we going to let that happen? Are we going to let that happen? We have the power to stop him. We have the power to decide if he gets another chance. And just as Detroit served as the arsenal of democracy during World War II. Detroit is once again positioned to protect the democracy of this nation and across the globe. And this time, the weapon and artillery that we will use is the dynamic power of our vote, because we know that the path to the White House goes straight through Detroit. So Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they offer a new way forward. They have a plan to create an opportunity economy that benefits all Americans, not just the wealthy. We must all do our part, Detroit, in this last 2 weeks to ensure that everyone has a plan to vote. Early voting is open right now in Detroit. Someone just say right now. Right now. If you are not registered, it's not a problem. You can go to the city clerk's office, go to a polling location and register to vote. And even better, you can vote right on the spot. And so there are no excuses to not get up and show your vote in this election. So Detroit, as I close, let us rise to the occasion. We are 2 weeks out from this election. Let us get out. Let us organize and let us represent what Detroit is all about. God bless you all. Let's go and get it vote out.
Please welcome the Governor of Michigan, Gretchen Whitmer.
Hello, Detroit! What up, Joe? We need a medic over here. Let's give the person a little bit of room. We need another one over here. Okay, we need 2 medics. We're good? Okay, we're good to go, they're saying. If anyone needs help, raise your hand and we'll make sure we get it to you. But let's give them space to do what they need to do. What up, Joe? All right. Hello, my friends from Detroit. How about them Lions? Our team is showing the country what we are all about here in the Motors. Okay, we need another medic. I apologize. Yeah. Okay, where the sign is waving there, we need some assistance. You good? You got us? Okay, okay. I love you too. Let's stay safe and help one another. Yeah. Okay. So our Lions, let me go back to the Lions, right? All right. Our team is showing the country what we're all about here in the Motor City and in the great state of Michigan. We play hard, we work together, and we get shit done, right? And we've been winning a lot. I think we should get used to it, right? This is a city and a state of underdogs. A city and a state who carries themselves with championship swagger. A community where people have one another's backs. And we never confuse cruelty with leadership. We know leadership is being brave and kind. This is the place that will elect Kamala Harris, the next president of the United States. Now, I am thrilled to be here with Detroit's own Marshall Mathers. Now, we all know Eminem produced a hell of a show at the Michigan Central Station in Corktown. Am I right? And of course, I am thrilled to be here in Detroit, my beloved favorite city, who also happens to be hosting someone I've admired for a long time, someone I've always looked up to, one of my all-time heroes, Barack Obama. President Obama saved Michigan's auto industry and protected hundreds of thousands of jobs. And he is here because he knows how important Michigan is and how important this election is that we elect Kamala Harris as vice president, as a senator, as attorney general, as a county prosecutor. Kamala Harris has had one client her entire life. We the people. And let me just say, she's picked a hell of a running mate in Tim Walz. Together, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to work to make a real difference in your life. They propose plans to lower our costs, to grow our economy, and to protect good-paying jobs and our fundamental freedoms. From building 3 million homes to tax relief for 100 million working and middle-class families, to loans to start the small business, to in-home care for seniors on Medicare, to protections for women, workers, and LGBTQ plus communities. They will fight for us because they have lived lives like ours. You know, Donald Trump doesn't get your life at all. Do you think he's ever had to take things out of the grocery cart in order to pay the bill? I mean, you think he's, well, yeah, you're right. He doesn't pay the bills, does he? Do you think he's ever rushed out of the door to drive carpool? Come on. He doesn't have a driver's license. You think he's ever shoveled a neighbor's walkway? I mean, you all know he doesn't even own a shovel, right? This guy has no idea what you go through every single day. He will say whatever it takes to get himself elected. And once he is, he'll do nothing to help you or your family get ahead. Kamala Harris, on the other hand, is going to fight for you because she's lived a life like you have, like we have. Do you know that she moved in with her sister to help her take care of her kids? Did you know that she took care of her mom at the end of her life when she was dying